I loved Destiny 2. Found out about it from a friend when I was 15, picked it up during Taken King, didn't play until Rise of Iron, and thousands of strikes, raids, dungeons, and adventures with friends later, I'd amassed a near perfect character by most people's standards. Most people. But while Destiny is a great game, it suffers a major problem: the wall. You see, for most people who play the game, this wall never happens. But for those who only play this game, who have played since the beginning, know what I'm talking about. The wall of endorphins in Destiny. First, it starts with the core activities becoming boring, then the premium content, then the weapons, armor, and subclasses. It becomes mindless. Soon, you only start hopping on when there's something extremely rare, like a new exotic, or a FOMO item, fear of missing out, like an adept rocket launcher. Cough it. But even so, you get the rush for like what, 5 minutes? Then you're like, what else should I do? But then you realize that no matter what activity you do, no matter how good the loot you get is, there's probably never going to be something added to the game that makes you feel like you're playing the game for the first time again. And honestly, it's sad how much of the player base buys into that philosophy. Destiny 2's history is a rough one. Long story short, the game started off okay, then got bad, then got really bad, like shutdown game bad. Then arguably the greatest DLC for Destiny came out, then Bungie became independent, and the game's content has been broken down and streamlined much more optimally. But in that quest for optimization, for getting content out the pipeline as fast as possible, it feels like Destiny has lost a bit of its polish, that special shine that sets it apart from most FPSs. Sure, the superb gunplay is there, the abilities are destructive, the worlds are vibrant and expansive, but for some reason or another, I feel like when I play the game these days, I feel like I'm just wasting hours away rather than feeling like my own version of a magic infused Master Chief. One day I just stared at the title screen, closed the game, and clicked uninstall. I was planning to do a solo Ghost of the Deep right before, and I just didn't care anymore about the flawless solo, about the god roll envious assassin bait and switch rocket from that dungeon I was salivating over, about any pinnacle achievements in Destiny. It just didn't matter anymore. I didn't really know how to feel after. Destiny is the first game I sunk hours into. It was a game that allowed me to use my initial rewards to further achieve greater rewards, and had many avenues to do that. This game taught me how to play PvE game modes as well as PvP game modes, so I never really had to choose any other game to play. It was my pure obsession, untamed. I would gush about it whenever I had the chance to. I could tell you the best consistent DPS combo for Warlocks at the time of this video is Strand Warlock with Wither Horde, Iterative Loop with Volt Shot, and Hothead with Autoloading and Explosive Light. I could do the combo to near perfection in the right conditions. I could do the most damage on my team with just the tiniest bit of effort. But to be honest, most of the time it's not even worth it. There's no real joy in destroying bosses insanely fast when you can do it over and over. There's just nothing really else you can do besides that. So you can learn how to speed across the game at the speed of sound, or find the most insane out of bounds secrets to show your friends, or just do silly stuff that happens every once in a while, like when a fun bug is discovered. But even those things can't save the core loop of gameplay. It's repetitive and tiring. Until Bungie shows why there's a need for Destiny to continue in its current state, I don't really feel like I need to be that invested in the game right now. And it looks like that way for the foreseeable future. You want to know another problem with I have right now? Servers. Oh my god. I have never seen an expansion have this many server problems. Most of the time it's every now and then. But for Lightfall, it's been almost every other week. Sometimes the downtime is an hour. Sometimes it's the whole day. But even so, for a game that's completely online and has enough content to service two separate games, I feel like there's got to be something we can do when the game's offline. Or a backup, just something. I don't care what, but just a solution. Not by my hands, and no, I'm not coming up with any ideas. It's not my job because the money or means to make that solution possible is not in my means. So don't just sit in the comments section asking me why I don't put my 2 cents into it. In the end, I have no say. Anyways, moving on, Destiny 2 is probably at its most mediocre point I've seen in a long time. I've sat through the hell that was Curse of Osiris when we thought the game was dying. I was there when Shadowkeep launched and shipped with nearly a third of the new content compared to Forsaken's drop. And we all had to come to terms that we would never get a Forsaken size expansion again. But in all honesty, this is just bland. Everything is so hot that it just gets bland. Everything in the game has a reason to be there. All weapons have at least some specific role that makes them worth using. Activities have specific weapon and material drops, and vendors are a way to passively earn rewards for your progress. But you can only do this for so many hours at a time before you ask yourself why. The game can be played with base armor and base weapons, and those could still be used in all activities. So why grind at all? So you could turn a 3-phase boss fight into 2 phases, potentially 1 if you try hard enough, just to get 2 armor drops at the end anyways? Man, I'm tired. I'm tired of this game and what it stands for. And this game has been with me through everything. I had a bad day at school, go grind some Destiny. Had a fight with a friend, most of Destiny can be played single player. On vacation, Destiny on the go. I made sure I had a way to play Destiny growing up. Everywhere I went. Xbox One first, then PC, then PS5, then Series X. I even got a Stadia subscription, the free one, to make sure I could go to Xur or watch a cutscene when I wasn't going to be home for a while. My life revolved around this game. You could see how unhealthy it was, but this is all I knew, which has brought us to this point. And you know what? It's probably for the best. My mental health has not been good for the last couple years, and this game has masked that pretty well. It's about time I stopped and actually sought some actual help. So, in short, should you play Destiny? To be honest, at this point, no. No. Destiny is a game that is too dedicated to its core base. They adore their player base and even baby them to some extent with the amount of leniency they allow in concern to how the game is played. But that means that every single player that is either new to the game or returning after months or years, they are hit with a wall of information about new things that are in the game and that the game has changed, and in some cases, drastically from the game they remember. So I would say, wait. Wait for the final shape, Destiny's final expansion in the Light and Dark saga of the game. Once this is complete, wait for the anthology/complete collection of Destiny 2. Start there. And sure, what I'm recommending is almost waiting about 2 years to play this game. But however, this game is not friendly to newcomers. It's hard to explain as to why fighting in a giant's dead body is somehow important to the game, or that each mission has lore and is a canonical part of the story, which means you have to play each piece to understand what's going on. And to be honest, I don't want to anymore. I miss the days when you could just sit down, play a game for a couple hours, and leave. But knowing that you could come back and finish it in its entirety at any time. Until I finally get that back in Destiny, I don't think I can play it for now. Thanks for watching.